Welcome to the 2.0 Grandma Show podcast. I am your host, and my name is Dr. Marsha Carter McLean. I have the distinct pleasure of having a wonderful gentleman on with me. His name is Mr. Jimmie Wilks. Jimmie is going to tell you all about who he is. But before we do that, I really have to tell you Grandma's 2.0 and what the show is all about. It is a show for grandmas, about grandmas, by a grandma. And we are all about helping grandmas to redefine, realign, and redesign their lives. So, all right, Jimmie, Mr. Jimmie Wilks, please take it away. We want to hear all about you, who you are, how you got from military to investor. Tell us about that. So, we want to hear all about who you are.
Well, Marcia, first and foremost, thank you for giving me an opportunity to come onto your podcast. I've heard so much about it, and we had some logistics issues initially
It's okay.
trying to get together and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
all good.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously, my name is Jimmie Wilks. I'm a 27-year Air Force vet in a logistics and procurement career field. Spent a great deal of time overseas, about 19 years out of those 27. So I've
Mm,
been all over the place. Had the opportunity to meet a lot of different cultures that really talk differently about money and finances.
hmm.
So as a procurement guy, an acquisitions guy, I'm always involved with buying major equipment and all that for the Air Force and working for certain major uh, logistics operations like the F-35 and F-15
Hmm.
Saudi advanced aircrafts and stuff like that. And so I've seen these large piles of money, and I'm like, well,
Right.
this government, this is government, doesn't belong to
Right.
me,
Right.
doesn't belong to me, but just is my father always told me that, hey, you go in the military, they're not going to pay you a whole lot initially. You're going to have to utilize some discipline, right? And find ways to make more money. Never
Mm.
his saying was a rat with one hole is a dead rat. So you have to
That
you
is
have
true.
to really diversify your financial portfolio. So we
Ah.
really started talking to a lot of different people online doing certain things. I used to be I learned about online marketing and making money from that aspect from this guy named Mike Dillard, who was a multimillionaire out of Austin,
Mm.
Texas. He created
Mm.
the magnetic sponsoring concept, and I was a super affiliate. So we worked together. He taught me a great deal of online marketing, and that led to just providing products of value, but it also allowed me to, hey, you can really make money and secure uh, a pretty good income.
Mm.
So I just kept that going, and then ultimately I got into forex and trading over in Saudi Arabia. I used to be a senior advisor for the Saudi Air Force.
Mm.
So me and a group of us, we're kind of like a captive audience. So we're
Mm-hmm.
over in Saudi. We're not going anywhere. We're all working
Right.
together. So we started investing in, penny stocks. Picking certain items that are very, very cheap. You're looking at 2 or 3 cent. Drop a few thousand. If it goes up, then you're making a great deal of money.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know about some of these vehicles because of fear.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
risk. There's risk in any financial market. You can't get around it. And forex is very, very lucrative because a lot of people don't understand forex is the largest financial market in the world. The forex
Mm.
is larger than the stock market,
Hmm.
right? And we're looking at 6.6 trillion a
Oh my
day, daily
God.
transactions. That's daily.
Oh.
And this is where the banks put their money. They just don't give
Mm-hmm.
it to you, but they make it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
there's forex is running the world as well as cryptocurrency, which I'm deeply involved in a cryptocurrency space, traditional, non-traditional investing, and things of that nature. Investing in,
Mm-hmm.
you hear about Bitcoin. Everybody knows about Bitcoin as
Mm-hmm.
the originator of cryptocurrency, and then obviously we have thousands of different cryptocurrencies now out there that people will buy low, it gains value, and then you make some money. But a lot,
Mm-hmm.
again, it presents us a steep learning curve. You just have to get out there. There's a lot of different resources online that you can teach you about cryptocurrency. I have quite a few books learning about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a challenge, but at the end of the day, this is a very, very good way to supplement your income or diversify because cryptocurrency is not regulated, it's decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
An exchange commission hasn't yet got its hands on trying to manage it, but they want a piece of the pie because at the end of the day, taxes, taxes, taxes. That's
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yeah. What's so interesting about what you said. First, you said you gotta learn. So
you got to learn.
that's rule number one. You can't just jump in something. Learn about what it is first, right? Is that like a takeaway for
It
people?
is
Learn about what it is first, and then make a sound decision about whether or not you want to do this. And if you're scared, my mom used to say, "Scared money don't make money." What
exactly.
is your feeling about? Is that true? Scared money don't make.
No, that's very very true because most six-figure earners, um, they take risk. They
Mm,
take risk. And I look at it as me being a government employee, we have something similar to the 401k called TSP, right? Thrift Savings
mm-hmm,
Program,
mm-hmm,
which I lost $20,000 in the market. There's nothing I could do about it but suck it
mm-hmm.
up
Right.
and hope that it increases in value. So if I don't, if I'm not worried about that, I'm not worried about losing a little bit in the crypto space
Ah,
or the forex space
that's a
because
good analogy because so basically, no matter what you do, there is some
you're
risk
going to
involved.
lose. You're going to
Yes.
you're going
Yeah.
to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many changes, right? When you get to a certain age, people talk about Social Security, but obviously you can't make but so much. The
Right. And you
government,
can't
yeah,
live off of
you cannot live off of it
it.
because I can tell you, diversifying your portfolio and finding something that's different,
Mm-hmm.
alternative investment strategy is why we as crypto investors or forex investors, we try to tell people you have to be outside your comfort zone
Mm-hmm.
and at
Mm-hmm.
least we're not talking about investing large sums of money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For example, when I started uh, down that road with cryptocurrency, I think I invested $1,800 on Ethereum, which is a high value cryptocurrency right below Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
and I made 120 grand just off of that
Wow. See, I
because
told you, whenever I think of money, I think of Jimmy.
no, no, well, it started. It was only like I think it was less than $30 a coin, and
uh,
then if you watch the growth of Ethereum, Ethereum went all the way up to $3,000.
mm,
So
mm.
that's where you make the money. It's just like when people initially invested in Bitcoin when it was 9 cent. Had you invested $100, you would have had over $100 million. And this is what Bitcoin has made a great deal of us very, very wealthy. Now, not me. I'm not. I do my little
No, I'm not going. I
diversification.
promise, Jimmy, I'm not going to ask you for money. Okay, so
No,
you
no,
can
no,
just
you're good. I was
just
going to ask you for a loan. I was like, Doc, can I hold a little something?
yeah, a little something, something.
A little something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to align yourself with people who get it, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you have to hang around, and I hate to say this on this podcast, but I think if you hang around six broke people, you'll be number seven. And that came
True.
from
That is
and that
true.
came from Les Brown. Les Brown
Exactly. I
said,
was going to say
that
that
came
sounds
from
like
that
some of
came from Les
Les's stuff.
Brown.
Yes.
That came from
Yes.
Les Brown.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I happen to believe because I saw it for myself. Because I try to get a lot of people to, hey, maybe start your own business. Paying all these taxes. I said, man, taxes are killing me. Do you have your own business? No. Well, you might want to think about creating a podcast or
Uh-huh.
creating. You
Right.
don't write off things. You have nothing to write off. They're gonna get you.
Right. Right.
The government is going to come with their hands out every year,
Yes.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can
For
do about it.
me, as a retired military um, type, and then I work for the government. My crypto is lucrative, but it's hidden.
Mm,
They don't see it unless
mm,
I bring it out at a certain point, and then I might have to deal with a few, a little bit of capital gains and stuff like that. But you
right.
control the narrative of that money. They don't see
Oh,
it.
really? So wait a minute. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying here. So are you saying as long as you keep it over there until you go in and get some of it to and change it into,
That's correct.
like put it through your bank, then they know at that point that
Yeah, that's correct. That's right.
interesting.
One of the programs that we're involved with that's going through major growth and all that. Having a certain amount of money in a trading balance that produces this amount weekly, they don't see that.
Mm,
They don't see
mm,
that. It just grows and grows and grows.
mm-hmm.
And this week at 2.68, I got to tell you, oh, it was pretty nice
Yeah.
return on
Yeah.
on
Yes. Yeah. Wow. I was
yeah,
like,
there.
oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the crypto space, and not just the crypto space. I mean, just investing in regular um, type shares and stuff. My mindset is if I wear Nike, I own Nike, Nike
Mm,
stocks.
right. I understand.
I buy from Amazon, and
Mm-hmm.
people think you have to buy, like, if Amazon is what, $12,000 a share. People think you have
Mm-hmm.
to pay 12,000. No, you pay a
Uh,
portion of that. It's just like
right.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, I think, is between 27 and 30,000. Well, I can go buy
Mm-hmm.
$500 worth of
Worth
Bitcoin.
right.
And what if Bitcoin jumps from 30 to 80,000? That $500 has jumped
Mm,
quadruple, and now you have $20,000 from that $500
mm,
investment. So
mm,
so a lot of people, you buy
mm,
portions. You don't have to buy the whole thing. Just buy
mm-hmm.
portions
By
of it. It's just
portion
like,
of it, yeah.
I mean, most people know about Warren Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Mm-hmm.
can afford his stock on a regular, because his stock is the highest valued stock out there. I think it's between 200 and 300,000 a share. Who can afford that? But the
Him and
guy,
what's the Amazon guy name? The two of them. That's
oh yeah, oh
it.
yeah, oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they
Right.
can certainly afford it. But
Right.
if you own Geico and Berkshire
Mm-hmm.
Hathaway and all
Mm-hmm.
these different Mutual Omaha, I mean, he's got 20, 30 different business portfolios,
Mm,
right? So yeah, so that's kind of like where I got because I do the crypto, but I also do incentive marketing. I go to businesses and offer them a package where they can give away travel incentives and things of that nature to take action. So if I was in this business and this person was in this business and we had the same business, if
mm-hmm.
I offered a 5-day trip to take action, well, most people are going to come to me because
Right.
I incentivize them. So
Right.
that's money that I make on a passive level, and that's where you really want. Investing is all about creating passive income,
Right.
because, as Warren Buffett
Money
said,
while you sleep, right?
money while
There
you
you
sleep.
go.
If you can't find a way to make money in your sleep, you might work until you die. Now, not everybody is
Mm,
going to, but that is something that we have to get away from, this one dimensional, just relying on a job payout,
mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately we're
Mm-hmm.
going to retire and all that.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different opportunities out there. We just have to, just seek it out. And again, it starts with, with education and stuff.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to become not necessarily an expert, but
Mm-hmm.
it's always good to know, at least know it. Like this podcast. Podcasts are becoming very, very popular. And
Mm-hmm.
I really love this Grandma 2.0. This concept is awesome.
Thank you.
You got a
Thank
good
you.
thing going on. I'll certainly would love to be, a part of it. At any time you
I
need
was
me,
just gonna
especially.
say I'm gonna have to ask you to be a sponsor, Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
fine. That's
Yes.
fine. Yeah, I just did something with St. Jude,
Uh-huh.
um, doing the 3,000 push-ups. Well, I'm from Tennessee, so I've been to the operation, and I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like that. So just giving to,
Mm.
and then in your approach to just really empowering grandma,
Yes.
that's a worthy that's got value added. You know, just be value added, and this is
Yes.
something that's tangible and all that.
Uh-huh.
The only
Uh-huh.
advice I would give somebody in terms of investing is, again, learn what you're investing in. Look at those warning signs. There's warning signs out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
And
of
that's the
scams.
thing. So the average person may not know the warning signs,
Hmm.
right? May not know. But I like something you said, so I want to kind of recap here because first you need to educate yourself. Number
Educate
one.
yourself.
Number two, you need to know going in there is risk. What is it? Risk? What is it? You have to be. What is that? Is that saying risk tolerance? So you have to be a little bit. You know that there's some risk. So you have to
No,
decide whether you're willing to take that risk. So don't put everything you own, right?
no, no.
Maybe
Don't
a
bet the
portion,
farm. Don't bet
right?
the farm. Don't bet
Exactly. Don't
the
bet the farm on it.
don't bet
Just
the farm. No,
do a
don't just
portion that you can bet on it, or whatever, or at least take that risk. And then something else you said too is about the scared money. Scared money don't make money. So you got to be, don't be afraid. So don't put everything in there. Um, and I like that. So what I want to ask now, if you were if you were talking to a group of grandmas, because I see this as one of the things that we don't know about, or we don't know well, is about money, how to manage it. And I've heard people say you need to have a good relationship with your money. That means you need to take care of it, but you also need to know how to grow it. And so when we come back, we want to take a little break. And when we come back,
okay.
I want you to tell us, if you were talking to a grandma one on one, and she would say, "Well, Jimmy, I'm thinking about, and where do I start?" I want you to kind of
Okay.
walk us through that. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. So we're
Sounds
gonna take a
good.
little break.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So
Right.
Jimmy, before the break, we
Marcia.
were asking, tell us a little bit about if I were a grandma and new to this game of investing, didn't really know what to do, what would you suggest? What are some things that you would suggest for me?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, you have to know where you stand, where you are with your income that you're earning now.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Whether you could be on a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fixed income, or you could have some investments that create passive income for you. Um, there's a lot of different vehicles that, I'm not a financial advisor and stuff like
Right.
that,
Right. 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 Right.
but really knowing where your money is going. A lot of people, unfortunately, they don't want to really look in a mirror and say, okay, my money's going here, I'm doing too much here, I'm overspending, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not creating a budget. The budget is very, very critical, especially when you move up in age. You really
Mm-hmm.
need to know where those dollars are going. And again, it doesn't take a whole lot to invest in certain things to build in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just being aware of where your money
Mm-hmm.
is going. We always say try not to live beyond your means, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can get a little, people want to have fun. People want
Yes.
to, just live life, because at this stage, to be honest, we have more time behind us than we have in front of us.
Hello.
You know, so so the money that we make, especially again, getting to a point where, unless you have passive income, coming in along with fixed. And unfortunately, the government doesn't want you to make but so much
Mm.
until they start something with you.
Mhm, mhm,
And at the end of the day, I'll tell people the government, especially the U.S. government, is structured to have people that will work, work, work. Some people are going to have to work, 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 work. That's where the have and have-nots
mhm,
come. You know,
mhm,
taxes are for rich people. Credit reports are for poor people
mm.
because
Hmm.
you can credit report doesn't mean anything to a rich person. They can file
Mhm.
bankrupt. I know a person that files bankruptcy every 7 years. They can go
And
right into
still
a bank
rich.
and rich.
Wow.
They just do it for fun because they write it off for fresh. I mean, and this is a woman. She's rich, big
Ah.
time real estate. So now she's not going to, of course, get on the podcast and say that, but
Right.
but people. I mean, look at might not be a good example, but guess who became president after filing 5 times, right? Bankruptcy, Donald Trump.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter because banks look at your potential to make income.
Mm.
So they
Mm.
can care less about your credit score. Now, when our credit score jumps below 670, now if you look at what's going on the hill, right?
Mhm.
And I don't think they're going to have this pass, but for people that have over 600 plus credit score, they want you to pay more taxes. Did you hear that? They're working on that right now. So you're going to get
Why? That's like, as my grandma used to say, getting blood from a turnip. You can't do it.
they are
Why?
going to penalize you for having good credit. I mean, I don't know how we elect these people. I don't, that is the craziest thing, but I'm telling you right now, you can look it up. Now,
Mm.
I think it's 600 plus, right? But the better your credit score, the more money they want you to pay. This keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse and worse. I'm telling you.
Right.
So you
And
have to have some passive
some
income.
passive
You
income.
have to
Yeah.
write
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
be able
Yeah.
to write those taxes off.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
write a great deal of my taxes off, because I deduct, if I
Mhm.
fly here, I fly there,
Mhm.
that's an
Mhm.
automatic write off.
Mhm.
My internet service, like you pay for, you have internet, that's part of your
Mhm.
podcast, right? I
Right.
mean, you got a phone, you pay that off, you write that off, you pay off
Mhm.
half. If you're working in the office, you write half that off or whatever.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
anything that contributes to your business, you write it off, and next thing you know, they're paying you.
Mhm. Mhm.
You have a business. Now you can't have, losses year after year after year. You have to become profitable after, I think, about 5 years. But right now you can still write it off and
Mhm.
things of that
Mhm.
nature and stuff like that.
And so those are good tips because a lot of people again don't understand. So you're talking about making money over here, but you're also talking about holding on to that money,
Yes.
right? So, you and still doing what you want to do. Because I know today's economy, most people have to have more than one job. One
Yes.
job does not cut it.
Mm.
So you got to have some passive income. And if you have 5 different jobs, you can't work physically. Who can work 5 jobs physically? So the passive really helps. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
having
This
that
is yeah.
passive income really helps because that's money that you don't have, may not have to do much for to get. And I think too, there's another thing that's going on here. I think the generation, I would want to say, there's a group that I heard about on I think YouTube, millionaires 30 and under or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
And these children, because they're children to me, are phenomenal. I mean, I looked at some of the YouTube, I listened to some of the YouTube, looked at some of the videos, and I was like, wow. And they're doing things that is, when you think about it, it's really incredible. They figured out a way to do some of the things that they want to do that's not hard work, right? But they're doing it and they're getting paid for it.
Oh, I know a lot of them.
Yes.
I've talked to John Hung. He's out of Rockville, Maryland.
Mhm.
Social media has made these young people millionaires.
Yes.
Social media. I mean, you got TikTok stars, you have
Yes.
Instagram
Instagram
millionaires,
stars, right?
you have
Right.
YouTube. John, and this guy, when I tell people if they're going to do something outside of just working, focus on the niche and become an expert in it, become
Yes.
an authority in it. Say
Yes.
like he does financial YouTube videos, and they're very good.
Oh, wow.
He makes $3.7 million a year just building a big house in Rockville, and that's all he does.
Mm,
Like your podcast, I'm telling you, you know, I'm sure you're monetizing it, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because you have a niche. The grandmom should listen and listen to this and become a community, right? Because I look at
mm-hmm,
this as a
mm-hmm,
growing community,
mm-hmm,
and again, like you had mentioned, most of those 30 under 30, they've created their own niche markets, right?
yes.
Affiliate marketing. A lot of them get into affiliate marketing because they don't have to own the product. They just
Right.
get a commission
It's
for it. It's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
It's
you just yeah.
amazing. Someone just introduced me to that idea about doing that. I'm like, so what do I have to do now? And they explained it to me, and I said, well, okay, I don't quite understand everything that you're saying. And so, but I thought, so all I need to do is put it on my website. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, you have to, you have to run traffic to it,
Right.
and
Drive
it is
people to it. Yeah.
competitive, drive
Mm-hmm.
traffic,
Mm-hmm.
drive people to it, but it's not going to, how do you say, pop off immediately. You have to
Mm-hmm.
build a following,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
build a following and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people, Amazon, yeah, Jeff Bezos is rich, but Jeff Bezos owns no products, zero.
Mm. Right.
He
Right.
has no, it's everybody else's products. And
Yes.
then he has,
Amazing.
yeah, and then you can white label certain products because all you have to do is do a little bit of market research saying, okay, this particular product, like a lint roller,
Mhm,
is
mhm,
selling. You
mhm,
go and get that lint roller. You can buy bulk from China. We
mhm.
made China, as much as we talk about China, we're the ones that made them billionaires.
Hello,
So,
right?
so you go take that, buy a bulk, and then put your little label on it and put
Mhm,
it in FBA, which is, fulfillment by Amazon. And
mhm,
now you're making just as much money because all you're doing is selling the same product. You just do it and drop it a couple of cents.
mhm,
So it's
mhm,
more, inviting, and people think they're saving a few
mhm,
pennies, and next thing you
mhm.
know, you're selling these things off the shelf. I mean, these
Wow,
are a lot of good
incredible.
ideas out there.
Yes,
Affiliate
yes,
marketing is
yes.
is one of the easiest ways to make to make money. I mean, especially if you have a niche. Weight loss,
Uh-huh.
self-improvement,
Yes.
the relationship deal, you know, it's a lot of different niches that you can
Yes.
focus on to make that passive income, you
Uh-huh.
know. And again, my biggest thing is crypto, which I'm
Mhm,
doing, and
mhm,
forex. But I'm
mhm,
also there's this thing called trucking automation because I'm a logistics guy, and this company,
mm,
yeah, it's a great. You have to invest some money to get a truck. They'll get the driver, manage the trucking, pay you between $5,000 and $10,000 a month per truck. So that's a different type of real estate versus just structural home
right,
commercial. This is
right.
investing in trucking. They take care of the liability. They'll take care of finding the driver. They'll maintenance and all that stuff, and all they do is pay you because you've invested X amount of money into it.
Mhm,
So you become a partner.
mhm.
So it's a lot of different ways.
Yes, and then
You
there's
know,
I saw on your website the CBD. Is it
yes,
CBD?
yes.
Yeah. Now tell me a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's cannabis and the hemp derived products. That's $167.7 billion industry. It's called the green
Billion?
rush billion industry. My coworker, her daughter owns a $20 million facility out in Lansing, Michigan. She does she grows the plants and all that. Now I don't do
Wow.
any of that stuff. All I
Right.
do is I have a store and people buy, and if they want to become a virtual dispensary owner,
Mm.
they can partner with me. They get their site. It's all you do is sharing it with the public, and you get paid. You don't have to have any inventory. You don't have to have any of that stuff.
So it's like the Amazon of that.
It is. It's the Amazon of cannabis. It is. So and that has been very lucrative because in this world we suffer from a lot of anxiety. People do suffer,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
CBD is one of the big benefits. uh, it has a calming effect. CBD, not the THC driven. A
Uh-huh.
lot of there's the stuff that gets you high and the stuff that
Right.
gets you
Just
real
kind of calm you
mellow,
down, right?
just
Mellow
calm you
out.
down
Okay.
and stuff. And I've been taking CBD for a long time,
Hmm.
and it's that calming effect. I mean, and
Right.
it makes you focus, and it reduces inflammation, and it's just so many
Yeah.
different health benefits from that. And just sharing that information. I was down in Hampton. These guys they were lining up because
When
I
did
had a
you
meeting.
tell me, Jimmy? When did you come to Hampton and did not tell me you were coming to Hampton? When
It was
was
kind of
this?
impromptu because
Okay.
three guys asked me, "Hey, come down," and I had some product. Now
Uh-huh.
I have samples that
Uh-huh.
and man, those guys, they tried it. Next thing you know, they were just right on the site, right in front of me. But the next
Wow.
time I come down, I will
Yeah,
definitely touch
please. And
base
and
with.
I need to, yeah, we need to talk about that too offline because I just recently met a woman who has a store in where is it? So Chesapeake, and she's gonna come on the show too and talk about it. She's a nurse practitioner or something,
Mm,
she said she was, anyway, and she has a a building, storefront rather, and so she's into that too, and she was telling me all the different things. She's a grandma as well, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to have you on the show because I'm interested in grandmas and highlighting them and everything, but of course I'm also interested in making money. Okay, so let's not get
yeah.
that twisted.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
So
definitely. But you got to deal with her. She's got to deal with that overhead when it comes to
uh-huh,
facilities and stuff
right,
like
right,
that.
right,
Whereas
right,
whereas
right.
I don't. I don't have
Right,
to.
that's what I'm saying. So I really want
You
to hear
know,
more about that.
I
Because
deal with
we'll
digital real
talk
estate.
offline. Okay,
Because I do create websites. I
okay.
taught myself to do it. I worked with
Huh.
Mike Dillard, and I kind of work with some of the guys that are out there.
Okay.
There's Dagan Smiths, the Brian Finales, all these guys that are now multimillionaires. I knew them when they were
Wow. Wow.
broke as a joke,
Wow.
but
Broke as a joke.
not anymore, not anymore.
Mm.
They took like affiliate marketing and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and created their own courses.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make money. Create courses.
Yeah,
People.
that's the other thing that my virtual assistant was telling me I need to do. And as a professor, I know how to do that. That's not
Yes.
hard. And I've done that sort of thing myself on my own before. But she was saying that's one of the things I need to do for the Grandma's 2.0. So yeah, there's so many things. Yeah, so many things to do. Yeah. But listen, I'm excited that you on the show. Thank you for coming because I think that we've given grandma something else to think about as far as financial wellness. There's lots of opportunities out
It
there.
is. It
Pick
is.
two or three. Now, let me ask this question because I've heard other people say this. How many different streams of income should one person have? What do you
Well, it
recommend?
depends. It depends on how intensive it. I never go over three or four because a lot of my stuff I do online. I'm an
Right.
online
Okay.
guy because
Okay.
when you work online, now I do go out offline. When I say offline, I have my cards, I have
Right.
my postcards,
Right.
and I
Okay.
and I work with people to allow me to put or stage advertisements at their businesses and stuff like that. But
Okay.
I would never go over three. You know, yeah, it makes you because those three that you pick,
Mm-hmm.
it has to have some value. People love
Right.
hemp.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, this
Yeah, that's the
CBD is
thing.
something.
Right.
I
That's the
mean,
thing.
this
Yes.
CBD
Yes.
is something. And then incentive marketing packages, whereas I can say, hey, look, I can help you increase your sales by 2 to 5%. By 2 to 5% or more, right? Increase sales and marketing by adding this incentive.
Hmm.
Adding this incentive. You give away a trip, you give away a dining
Right.
certificate, you give, and they will come to your place. And if you're
Wow.
advertising already I've shown them how it works.
Yes.
I said, all you got to do is take the same advertising, but add this line.
Right. And that makes all the
Get
difference.
it, add that one line, and
Wow.
and this one company in Europe did it. They made over $1 million in 1 year.
Okay, I'm doing it, Jimmy. You talk me into it. I'm doing
Well,
I'm doing it. I'm
they
doing
got
it.
the leads because they
Right.
separated themselves from the pack.
Oh, wow.
You see it
Mm,
all the time.
yes.
You see the incentives. Hey, look, Infinity. Hey, come on over. We'll give you $200
Yes, off of
gift card
something or this. Yes,
if
yes,
you
click.
they do it all the time, and people don't realize
Wow.
I've been hoodwinked twice doing that. I said, "Oh, that
Right.
$200 for real? When do I get it?" As soon as I sign up. So
Right.
so so yeah, it's a lot of different easy things. Now I don't,
Mm.
don't go out a lot of this multi-level marketing. That can
Hmm.
be very difficult. I don't do
Right,
that.
right,
I
right.
don't do a lot of that. I do
Right, 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 right.
direct sales that's going
Okay.
to help somebody.
Right. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna have to talk offline. We're way over our time, but it's okay.
Oh,
But we definitely have to talk offline. So thank you for being
it's
on
been a
today. I really
pleasure.
appreciate it. As always, it's exciting,
Oh,
okay,
I
and
love
and
this.
and,
I
and
appreciate it.
educational. So yeah, I can't wait to get you back on to do something to talk to grandmas about these sort of things. And I have a National Gorgeous Grandma's Day coming up in July. So I want
Where
to
at?
talk about that incentive. So it's going to be all virtual, right?
Oh,
But we did it last year. We're going to do it again. But this time I'm looking for sponsors. And so what I want to do is talk to you about that and maybe increasing or figuring out how to include the incentives kind of thing.
just
Okay. So
run a
let's talk about
contest.
it.
Yeah, run a
Yes.
contest, and that's
Yes.
what I'm doing now.
Okay.
People that join me on my cannabis, they get a 5-night stay at Cancun
Oh,
hotel.
wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
That's the kind of
yeah,
thing I'm talking about. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah,
thank you, Jimmy. I
thank you,
appreciate it.
Miss
You're
Marsha. I
welcome.
appreciate it, and I look forward to coming back on.
Yes, yes, please. Okay. So
All
we'll
right,
talk again soon. Okay.
all right.
All right. So thank you, listeners. And this is Marsha McLean. We're signing off. Grandma's 2.0. We're talking about with Mr. Jimmie Wilks. We're talking about financial wellness and what you can do to increase, enhance, and get those different streams of income. Thank you.
Go get it. All right.